As many of you guys already know, I try to be as optimistic as possible, but this season I told you that is going to change. I'm keeping everything 100% real, not gassing things, and this Cardinals team has a ton of problems, even though we're 2-0. We have a lot of things to address today. There's a lot of concerns that this team has to correct. There's a lot of things that we're going to be diving into, and if we don't correct those, this 2-0 start is nice, but it doesn't feel like we're 2-0, and if we don't correct them, we're going to lose to the good teams, and we don't even deserve to be in the conversation of the playoffs. So let's go ahead and talk about this. I have another video addressing another dark spot, and we'll kind of talk about that, but I'll have another video for you guys and tell you guys how I think we need to solve that solution. But let's just talk about my gripes with this team, because there is a good amount. There's a hefty few. First things first is Kyler Murray, through 2 games, I feel like has played ridiculously well. You might look at this stat line and be like, okay, it's nothing impressive. He also had an interception. You have to note that. But yesterday, he looked methodical with the football. He was dealing, and Drew Petzing, for some reason, just shies away from it. 68.1 QBR, 68 completion percent, 220 yards, 1 touchdown, and that disgusting interception, which I still don't know if he was trying to throw that away. I don't know if he was just doing a Kyler Murray thing where he always just kind of chucks it up. Don't understand what the deal was there. I would love to hear his perspective. But this team has a lot of problems, and Drew Petzing, if he does not fix the pass game, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. PHNX Sports, I believe, posted this. They had, I believe, Britton Golden on the podcast. And this is what he said about Drew Petzing, the things that I've reiterated over and over, but I get slandered for it. So take it from a former Arizona Cardinal wide receiver, the guy who played for us, about where this team stands in Drew Petzing on if we can succeed with the pass game. Roll the clip.
We can give Kyler praise. We can rag on Kyler. Yeah. We can say whatever you need to say. But you can lobby for bringing another quarterback in here. But I'm going to tell you, and it doesn't matter who you have at quarterback in this offense. If this is your passing scheme, you have no chance. If this is how the O-line is going to play all season long, you have no chance. I don't care who you have in here. If this is the offense we have right now, I hate to go against you, JV, but this is not a playoff offense.
So don't just take it from me. Take it from a former NFL wide receiver who is seeing the same things. This is unacceptable. Drew Petzing has to fix his passing scheme, and until he does and kind of understands that Kyler can pass the ball in the middle of the field, Kyler Murray can play winning football. We saw it with Cliff. He can air it out. Regardless of what you guys say, Kyler Murray can air it out. And if we don't have him on the team right now or behind center, we're not 2-0. He's the reason we are 2-0 in my opinion. The only reason the offense has succeeded is because of him, because we can take a look at other stats too that are just absolutely ridiculous, and it falls on nobody but Drew Petzing. So let's go ahead and pull these things up because it's interesting. Run game, the thing that Drew Petzing's whole entire philosophy surrounds, has not worked. You take away Trey Benson's stats, which are on top, that 50-yard run, and we're not averaging a ton of yards. Petzing got to get this thing corrected. The 52-yard run, let's just go ahead and negate that. That would be 7 carries. For what is that, 17 yards? 17 yards on 7 carries. You guys do the math there. Terrible. Terrible game if he does not bust that. Now, pause, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he did pop the run, so you can't take it away, but, like, it's just the one big play is the standout, because in Carolina, he was having a pretty solid game in the very limited carries, which is why I think we need to pivot to Trey Benson full time, because he is a better runner of the football in terms of this offense right now. And he has to be aggressive, put his head down, and actually be decisive with the football. He is still very hesitant. I've seen it. Get upfield. He also needed to get out of bounds on one play, and he was just trying to make people miss and just kind of lollygagging. Be better there, Trey Benson. We need you, because I think there's a lot of potential there. Now, James Conner also doesn't have a ton of holes to work with, but, like, man, 11 attempts for 34 yards, 3.1 a carry, 12 attempts, 39 yards, 0 touchdowns. James Conner has looked awful this season. And I hate saying that because he looked so good last year. He was kind of aging like fine wine. And yes, he can still run through people, but maybe it's time to give James Conner the backload and let Trey Benson be that guy. I know it's very early in the season, and James Conner can make people miss. He's a good receiving back, which is crazy because early in his career, he was not that. The offensive line sucks in terms of run blocking this season. So Petzing, maybe we change things up a little bit and kind of run a balanced set instead of just run, run, run. We needed to run, 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 but that's not working. So sometimes you need to make those in-game adjustments, because both of these games, I would have started with the run, 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 but it seems like clearly they've figured something out. So hopefully your pass coordinator can actually help implement some better schemes, and we can actually get some plays in where we're not just running the football. And maybe you can actually be creative like you used to be when you had a bum at quarterback. Now you have a talented quarterback. For some reason, you're playing conservative. You're not attacking. And it feels like we're just okay. We're just okay with the fact that we can play conservative. How about you attack and pour it on just like Detroit did? That would be a nice thing. And also, how about we get some involvement from your receivers? Because in back-to-back games, Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, those are the guys right there, right? They, in week 1, leading receivers. Outside of that, Tip Ryman was number 3. 1 reception, 10 yards. Unacceptable. Guess who the freaking second receiver yesterday was that led this team? It was another tight end. This offense goes through running backs and tight ends because it went Trey McBride, Elijah Higgins, who is pretty underrated. Madden disrespected him too. And then you had Trey Benson. It's crazy, man. It seems like it's always just you hit the tight end or you hit the running back as a bailout because the receivers cannot get open. You have a running back curl out of the backfield for 5 yards and hopefully they can turn it into a first down. It's what it feels like. So it just gets to a point where I'm sick of it, and it feels like Drew Petzing cannot scheme a receiver open to save his life. And we saw it time and time again. He ran some good concepts where against the middle of the field, where Trey McBride had that 30-yard seam pass, there was like 3 people open. You had somebody break open on the right side on just like a little, I don't even know what the route was, but he just broke free on the bottom. And guess what? Trey McBride at a 30-yard play. There's just a lot of options. Kyler, if he didn't see Trey McBride, could have hit the underneath, and that's an easy first down too. Drew, come on. Let's get these wide receivers involved. And let's pull up Marvin Harrison's stats too, because it gets to a point. Watch this. This is what irritates me and irks me the absolute most. A lot of people like to sit here and complain that Marvin Harrison Jr. does not look like the number 4 overall pick. But maybe, just maybe, if we use our heads, we can come to the conclusion that maybe it's a scheme thing. Because Malik Neighbors, the guy that a lot of people proclaim just an absolute better talent, is getting fed the football. 11.3 targets compared to Marvin Harrison Jr. 6.8 in 2024. And now in 2025 through 2 games, small sample size, but it goes to show a lot. 5.5 targets per game for Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Malik Neighbors, who is getting more at 12.5. What are we talking about here? Like, I don't think this is an even close debate on who's better. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is better, but Malik Neighbors has the opportunity of a lifetime to go make plays. Go give Marvin Harrison Jr. 11 targets a game. Probably going to thrive. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. should average anything under 8. I think Trey McBride is the number 1 weapon on this offense. If you don't utilize him and make that known, you're just an idiot. You're dumb. So at least he figures that out. But Marvin Harrison Jr. was taken at 4. A lot of people wanted Joe Alt. And if you're running this offensive scheme, then maybe you can argue that. But you can also argue that we need a wide receiver. The thing that I'm doing, and I still stand on that. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. was the pick at 4, is always the pick, and still should have been the pick. I believe in the talent he is. I have my gripes. Yesterday, I showed you the ball that I want him to go be more aggressive on. Needs to just go attack the football. But when you don't build your wide receiver's confidence or even get him going very early on, there's a lot of problems that we have, man. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. is such a talented football player, but if you're not willing to get him involved, when was the last time we saw a wide receiver screen to Marvin Harrison Jr.? Has it ever been ran in 2 seasons? I'm not sure. That's the involvement we need. Get him some touches early on, build the confidence, but instead Drew Petzing's like, hey, Marvin, it's okay. Just take the back seat, go block, and then maybe you'll get a ball thrown to you like twice in a game. Maybe. You'll have 1 quarter where you shine and then just absolutely disappear for the rest of the game because we're not going to scheme it to you. We're going to run the same philosophy even though you're hot. And I have no reason to adapt or adjust. That does not scream NFL offensive coordinator or NFL passing scheme. Have a lot of things to correct. Drew Petzing, looking at you, buddy, because now with the team that is super banged up, what are you going to do? You got talent, in my opinion. Michael Wilson, everybody claiming that Marvin Harrison Jr. should not have been taken. A lot of people slander Michael Wilson, and it's like he would have been the team's wide receiver 1 unless you signed or drafted somebody else. We got a lot of problems. I think Michael Wilson is a solid receiver. Maybe he's not a wide receiver 2. I don't think that. I think he's a better wide receiver 3 than anything. But like at this point, Michael Wilson just getting absolutely shut out. Greg Dortch and Zay Jones being shut down for 2 games back-to-back. It shows you guys that it is a Drew Petzing thing. I'm preaching this to the freaking choir. If you guys disagree, would love to have a debate in the comments section. Let's go ahead and talk about it because everybody's viewpoint is different. I'd love to have this discussion, but like I am losing my mind watching Drew Petzing run this offense. It is pissing me off and I'm tired. I'm absolutely done watching this. You need to change it. In week 3 against San Francisco, who has Mac Jones at quarterback, who looked pretty dang good, we're going to be in a dogfight in a division game, and this is a huge one because we beat 2 teams we're supposed to. Let's roll into this and smack them in the mouth. You have Seattle and San Francisco as your next 2 matchups. Gotta win at least one. At least one. This is division games. Win one, you'll be in a good spot. And let's talk about the other thing that pisses me off real quick too, because it matters. What stands out to you on this graphic right here? Against Carolina Panthers. What stands out? Please just go ahead and take a look before I tell you guys, because it happened in back-to-back games. Excuse me. Go ahead. If you see it, go ahead and let me know in the comments, because the 12 penalties, it's unacceptable. It's 12 penalties in a football game. This is a team that needs to be disciplined. These are bad football teams we're playing. There's no reason to be playing this sloppy. Kyler said, we are playing awful. Jonathan Gannon's addressed it. But I'm sick of the addressing it. Like, Kyler has nothing to do with this. Like, I understand calling him out. Jonathan Gannon, it falls more on you and the coordinators on this team and the players and the discipline that they have. You have to be better. You have to be. Like, there's some BS calls. Like, I don't think Denzel Burke should have gotten called for that defensive holding. Josh Sweat, definitely not a roughing the passer. Got absolutely screwed. But, 12 penalties, gotta fix that. And also, let's talk about the other one, because there's another game we're going to talk about. Maybe I would not be griping if it didn't happen in back-to-back games, because 12 and 9 penalties against bad teams, that's 21 penalties through 2 games. This is not the kind of regime or culture you want to be building. We have great philosophies on the defensive side of the ball, have a great head coach, great GM, great defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator exists. He's definitely a coach. He definitely is there, but we have good philosophies. You have to correct the little things to be a good football team. I keep instilling this, but just watching how teams operate, and let's just talk about the New England Patriots. Tom Brady would harp and get this team right. Bill Belichick would harp and get this thing right and instill that if you make these mistakes, we're going to have a long week. They don't make mistakes like that typically, and that's why they were winning Super Bowls. I'm not seeing that culture. I'm not seeing that program being built right now. And until we correct these little things, I'm not going to be optimistic about this team, and I think we have a lot of concerns. And until we fix that, this 2-0 start is cool and all, but it means absolutely zero to me. Nothing. The thing I will say is at least we are 2-0, because now if you correct these things, it doesn't look as bad as it could be. We could be the Chicago Bears, letting J.J. McCarthy carve us up and be in that spot where we're looking at all these things and have a losing record. We have a winning record, and we can build on this and correct it. But until we do that and I see things actually change and the philosophies kind of develop, I'm not confident in this team whatsoever. You guys let me know how you guys feel about it down in the comment section below, but this is unacceptable, and until we do that, we'll see what happens, man. But the Cardinals, we are 2-0. Doesn't feel like we're 2-0, but let's just take this thing week by week and see if we can continue to build, because now the fact that our corners are all wiped, it's tough, man, and that's what the video is going to be about today. We're going to be discussing the fact that our defense is super banged up and what we need to do at corner, because we might be without all 3 starters. So with that being said, that is going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts on this team down below. Maybe I missed something. I think the defense has played really well for the most part, but having Kyler Murray have the ball in his hands twice, and one of those he let a great drive and just stupid interception. The other one, we just couldn't get off, or we couldn't do anything. Having no offense in the second half killed us. We'll see what happens, though. So you guys let me know your thoughts. But with that being said, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. If you guys are new to the channel, ended up enjoying today's video, want more Cardinals content, hit subscribe. On the road to 10,000. Appreciate everybody if you guys have joined the journey, joined the family. Means a ton, man. Gonna have more content flying, hopefully every single day. Gonna be back in Arizona in 3 days. So setup might be a little different then. So we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching today's video, man. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.